This modern age have given us a lot of comfortabilities with its digital inventions. So these digital inventions made our lives so comfortable and fast with its high precision and recoveries. So before these digital devices came into picture, they were actually the analog devices which helped us to make our moves from one another. So these analog devices have much complexities with its design, and much more processing powers were required. So without these analog devices, this digital evolution would have not been possible. So one such analog invention which made the voices and sounds of the people to reach the corners of the world are the tape recorders. So in this video we're going to see about the working of tape recorders. So let's get into it. Before, we need to understand the principle on which it is working. So the principle behind the working of the tape recorders are the electromagnetism. So the electromagnetism is nothing but a conductor is partially made into a magnetic material with the application of electric current. So in this picture we'll be coming to know that a nail is taken and a wire is coiled around it. An iron wire is coiled around it, and when the supply is given to it, it acts as a magnet, showing north and south poles. So from our childhood we'll be given to know more about the magnets. That is, when the electric field is there, then naturally there will be a magnetic field surrounded by it. So the same principles here, but the magnetic field is created with the but the conducting material is made partially into an magnetic material with the application of electric current. So that's the electromagnetism, and that principle is actually applicable to and that principle is actually applied in the tape recorders. So let's see how it is. So with this picture you will be seeing the parts of the cassette. So with the cassette, this picture is very familiar to us, isn't it? I think so. So with this picture you'll be knowing about the parts of the tape recorders. So there is a supply reel and a take up reel. So we'll be knowing commonly that when the reel from one side is fully drawn to the other side, then the tape is over, or the song is over, or any information is over. So that's the principle. So let's get some details about it. So let me go to the next. So here is where we are going to see about the working. So before, we need to understand the material of which the tape is made. So this tape is actually a thin plastic upon which some ferric oxides are being pasted or binded, so with some dry lubricants. And it is actually rolled on the reel. So when the tape is actually moving from one reel to other reel, some process will be going on there. So we'll see what it is. So before, we need to know the three important parts of the cassette. One is the erase head, and the record head, and the play head. So here in this figure 1, you will be seeing a 4, 6 and 7. Those are the three which I was talking before. So 4 is the erase head, and 6 is the record head, and 7 is the play head. So these are the very important parts for our application to be done. So the 4 is the erase head, that is to make sure that no other informations are there in the tape. So it actually erases the tape. We'll see how it's doing and all. 6 is the record head, which is actually recording our voice, and 7 is the play head, that is, we are actually playing the information what we recorded earlier. So that's the thing. So this each and every head, this erase head, play head, and record head, each are a separate electromagnets. So in the figure 3 you will be knowing about it. So it is an electromagnet with some gap in between at the point where they are joining. So they are the electromagnets, so it's some gap in between, and they're coiled with an iron coil. So our voice signal, when we need to record any signal, then the playhead, that is the seventh electromagnet, actually moves away from the tape mechanically. So it's mechanically designed in such a way that it goes away from the tape while we are recording. So it goes away, and this record head, what actually happens in the record head is that it is actually coiled with the iron coil, and our audio signal, which we are actually sending it inside the microphone, is converted into an electrical signal, and the electrical signal falls on this coil, and a magnetic field is produced, as we discussed before about the principle of the electromagnetism. It actually works in such a way that it converts the electrical signals into a magnetic fields, and that magnetic flux is actually recorded, or is recorded on the tape, which is flowing under. So the oxides, which I said before, that were on the tape, is the ferromagnetic material that actually gets magnetized when a varying magnetic field is subjected to it, and that magnetic flux actually remembers the information what we're actually sending to it. So this is what happens when it is recorded. So the signal actually gets converted into electrical signal, and that electrical signal is produces a magnetic field in the electromagnet, and that magnetic flux actually gets upon the oxides of the tape, and it is actually moving to the take-up reel. So what the flow of the mechanism is that from the supply reel, the tape is actually moving with a constant speed, and the process takes place. That is, our audio signal is converted into an electrical signal, and that produces an equivalent magnetic field, and that magnetic flux is recorded on the tape, and it goes up to the take-up reel. So this is what happens when the recording is actually happening. So when we need to play, or when we need to actually get our information from the tape, that is, actually we need to play the tape, then actually the opposite thing happens. That is, the erase head and the record head actually moves away from the tape, and the play head comes in contact with the tape, and it actually makes, when it is moving, when the tape is actually moving, the reverse process actually happens. That is, first magnetic field is produced, and that magnetic flux creates electric field on the coil, and there our signal is get amplified and gets out with the speaker. So this is the flow of what the process actually is going on inside the tape recorder. So this is actually a simple method, and with the help of some chemical reactions on the tape, not the chemical reactions, actually 100% chemical reaction is that. So some way of electromagnetic forces are happening inside the tape and the electromagnet, which we have actually imposed. So this figure 2 is shows the picture of the recorder, that is where we'll be actually imposing the tape cassette. So that's the figure of it. So actually the figure 1 and figure 2 are similar. To make some better information regarding the recorder, I have actually imposed that picture. So these are the thing, and other two parts, such as capstan and pinch roller, which is 8 and 9, actually make sure that the tape is actually moving in a constant speed, so that there won't be any distortions or any misalignments in the signal. So that's actually the tape recorder's working. It's very simple and very simple, but some complexities are there. So for some mechanical forces may be required, and some extra some additional workings and other complexities is involved. So this is the actual working of the tape recorder in a simplest way. So some tape properties we need to know is that in a 90 minutes cassette, the tape is actually 135 meters long. So the 135 meters long, with that tape we can store up to 90 minutes. So 90 minutes of information, that's the thing. And the other thing is that the speed of the tape is actually 4.76 centimeter per second. So in a second the tape moves with the speed of 4.76 centimeter. So this is actual working of the tape recorders. So I hope that this video have given enough knowledge about the working of the tape recorder. So I hope it's clear. And for my to view my previous videos, check the link in the description below. And thanks for watching.